I'm Ruth Brown from Heavy Reading, and today I'm talking with Nabil Lahyani from Nokia. Hi, Nabil. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, how are you doing? No, it's my pleasure to be here and my really honor to talk to Light Reading today. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to be discussing network automation today. Obviously, a really hot topic. It's central in many digital transformations. Autonomy is a high priority with operators. They want to achieve these operational savings, enhance their customer experience, and we can hear from many of them are talking about aiming high, and they want to achieve highly autonomous states and fully autonomous levels. So things such as TM Forum's level 4 or 5. So Nabil, I'd really like to ask you, do you think this is too ambitious? How do you see the role of AI and ML evolving to be able to enable these autonomous networks?
No, thanks, Ruth. Yeah, definitely, it's an ambition that we see that the CSPs, all of them they have, is to advance as much as possible through this TM forums level. But what we see currently, being realistic, is most of CSPs are stuck in around level 2, with some clear challenges like how to access to the right data with the right quality. Then the AI ML comes into the picture because it's helping many of them to move, especially from that level 2, which is more reactive operations, towards level 4, where it's more proactive and predictive operations. But as you said, with the aim always is to reach the highest level, which is a number 5, where it's fully autonomous network. Then how AI ML is helping them. So we can start talking about the predictive AI that is really enabling the network to detect the patterns through the observability, to understand the behavior of the network and also the subscribers, how they are experiencing the services and the application they are consuming, but also detecting the anomalies on the network itself. And last but not least, to optimize the resources based on the finding through this predictive AI. Then the next part will be adding Gen AI on top of it, basically addressing some challenges like data sparsity and enabling advanced decision-making models. Last but not least, we have also what is called, as an example, autonomous agent, where we see AI-driven closed-loop system that are really helping in different areas like self-healing, the self-optimization, as well as the well-known zero-touch operations. So, in a nutshell, many operators are still in level 2, and we are helping them to move from being reactive to more proactive and predictive, keeping in mind that the ultimate goal is to achieve the full autonomy.
Thanks. We've just spoken about the autonomy levels and network autonomy. We're going to do a bit of a shift now and really think about the use cases and in particular the business needs. So Nabil, I guess my question to you now is to really think about, and maybe we can get into what use cases is the telecom industry introducing, and what problems and business issues are these really targeting. Perhaps we can think about what are the most impactful use cases, and if you're able to share some examples of what Nokia is doing in this area.
No, thank you, Ruth. What I really like about your question is the fact that you emphasize what are the business needs and what are the challenges that our customers are facing, because there is a paradigm shift, as I say. Instead of being more network centric, we talk now about what are the challenges that can be network driven, or also the subscriber or user impact kind of use cases. So the first one, or first challenge I would like to talk about is a quality of experience. And basically, our customers are asking us, how can I ensure that I understand what is the experience my end user is having? Before, it was about the network, it was about the stability of the network, it was about the performance of the network itself. Now is more about, due to how society is evolving, there is a booming in the data consumption. Some studies say that more than 80% of the traffic in many countries is already video. So we see a lot of video application, a lot of gaming, a lot of streaming, and that's why this is a clear area of attention from our side. Also, of course, in our product, and we have a use case which is really focusing on what is the quality of experience and how to improve it, how to make sure the end user is happy while gaming or doing a video call like we are doing right now. And this is leading us into another area, which is the churn reduction. The customers have realized that due to the network, when I'm talking about churn, I'm focusing only on the network as a trigger for the churn, that there is an action to be taken. And we have a use case that is taking historical data and understanding in a proactive way what is the journey of that subscriber, he or she, while using any of the applications mentioned before, video, gaming, streaming, or voice. So that will be the second one, which is the churn reduction. The other one will be the expenditure reduction, basically how to reduce the cost while we deploy the use cases that are addressing those business challenges. As we discussed, AI is helping in this autonomous network journey. And the first one of the key areas is reducing the customer care tickets and operational cost. And how we do that is basically detecting the pattern that the network is having, detecting anomalies, then finally having an automated root cause analysis to close the loop and act on the impact that we want to have in the network. So if you see, I'm talking about quality of experience improvement. I'm using the word improvement or a churn reduction or expenditure reduction. So it's an action on itself. So, and that's why we talk about the autonomous network. It's not just detecting or sharing insight about a problem statement. The idea is to really close the loop. So we detect, we run the root cause analysis, and then we act on the network element in order to make sure we are closing the loop with the business objective. I would like to highlight the last area, which is about sustainability, where energy saving, it's very important, but with the condition that is not impacting the customer experience. And we have in our portfolio what is called the AVA EE, which stands for energy efficiency, which is helping customers to achieve up to 30% of carbon footprint reduction. But really, the important disclaimer here is that without compromising any customer experience. So these are, Ruth, I hope, are giving a glance of some of the use cases that are helping a customer in this journey of autonomous network. But as I mentioned, I really like that your question was focusing on the business pain point rather than just a use case.
Thank you. Really, really good to understand what these two different aspects of AI are doing. So I want to sort of delve a little bit deeper into the foundations of these AI sort of models and technologies. So network decisions really rely on data, and this makes data quality absolutely central to the success of these autonomous networks. It remains one of the #1 challenges, I would say, to operators and also to creating these AI models and solutions. So, Nabil, I guess my question to you is, how do you think operators can ensure that their data is accurate, it's consistent, they've got it curated well, so they haven't got any duplications, and making sure that it's ready for these automation use cases that you've been describing? Is it a lot of effort? What do you think operators need to do with their data?
I really like this question because actually it's a discussion I'm having with most of the customers the last, I would say, 6 months. We assumed that jumping into AI ML will bring the magic, but then we realized that the foundation of it, which is data, it's the most critical part actually. And many studies and analysts have proven through some statistics that between 60 to 80% in some of the cases of the workforce effort is spent on trying to get the data and understand it. So the data collection, the data understanding, and being sure that we have the right quality of the data, it's been one of the top, I would say, 2-3 challenges that the operators are facing. Hence, implementing a very robust data governance framework to manage the life cycle of data from collection to disposal, ensuring the accuracy and security is of utmost importance. So that will be the step number one. Then also, there is a transition needed here towards the data mesh, decentralizing and standardizing the data architecture for more reliability and more scalability. So moving away from the traditional data lakes, I will say. Then also there are AI tools that help in the data, as we discussed before about the insights through the LLM, but also the data normalization, the data enrichment, and moving from just reading raw data into more actionable insight it's also important now to reduce the time that, as I mentioned in the beginning, spent just on understanding the data. So the governance, the moving towards more standardized architecture, using some AI tools, and also we need to break the silo between the domain. If we talk, for instance, about what is the experience that a subscriber is having in a video call or in a discussion like we are having now, it involves data from radio, data from core. It involves information or metrics about the session itself, the event, the subscriber. So we need this cross-domain data and make sure that all the stakeholders have consistent access to shared repository of data. Last but not least, the unified data model, to have the data, to integrate structured and unstructured data in an efficient way. And all what I just described, Ruth, is what we are offering, and we are helping actually some of the customer with what we call AVA Data Suite, which is helping with those data challenges that we just went through. And it combines proven data products that are standardized, are harmonized, irrespective of the data source, irrespective of the vendor or the technology. But also it helps with the governance, with the observability to be sure about what is the data lineage behind it, what is the data quality, and in a structured, clear way in a catalog. And also, very importantly, then enabling, once we are sure about the data and we know that the data is reliable, we can enable through the MLOps that data scientists can easily focus on building the use cases that will address the business challenges. I hope it helps, Ruth.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've already gone through some great aspects here. We've spoken about operator ambitions. We've talked about the AI technology. We've also, covered some of the use cases. So I guess what would be really interesting now is to talk about the actual transformation. So automation is quite a significant transformation for telcos and organizations. It's introducing many new methodologies. So Nabil, I guess what I'd like to sort of really talk about now is about what cultural changes and skill sets do you think are going to be required to actually embrace this full potential of autonomous networks?
Let me tell you, Ruth, that this is my favorite question, actually.
Great.
because I would say what we are facing is a need for an evolution and a revolution at the same time. The business has to continue, so it has to evolve, but the way how this technology, the speed that is being brought, it really asks for a revolution when it comes from the cultural aspect of it. In the first question, if I'm not wrong, we talk about the TM forum level and how we want to help the customer in this journey. And we said we want to help them to move from reactive operations to more proactive operations. I will say when it comes to the cultural aspect, we need to do the same. We really have to shift from a reactive mindset to more proactive, innovative culture, where there is an openness to adopt the technology and seen as an enabler for this transformation, for the revolution that I was talking about. And to do that, definitely you need, the first ingredient is a strong leadership advocacy for AI and autonomous technology. And that's a sine qua non condition, in my humble opinion. So we need the top-down, clear vision that what is needed in order to bring the AI as an enabler for achieving the business objective. Then the next step will be also to work as a team in an organization. We really need to foster this cross-functional collaboration culture. It's not about only network department or operations department, also IT, moving more and more leaning towards the IT area or the business department. And those organizations, they should have a common goal and use these AI, AI ML as a vehicle toward those common objective. But then it comes to the key, which is people, and really it requires an investment on upskilling the employees. We cannot ask people suddenly with the snap of fingers to start adopting the technology without having those skills. So we need to enrich the organization with people who understand the technology, with people who have the right skills that can accelerate this journey of AI ML, without need to say that the current workforce with the knowledge of the domain, especially on the telco, is key. AI ML will not be fruitful if we don't have the right enrichment with that domain knowledge, and that's why also the current workforce it's needed, but the upskilling is a requirement. So in a nutshell, strong leadership, willingness to change the processes and the way of working, to be more proactive, more innovative, to challenge the status quo, why we've been doing things in the same way the last X years, I would say. Emphasizing that success depends not only on the technology, AI, Gen AI, whatever it's coming next, but also on human ingenuity and willingness to make the change.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Nabil. I'm really looking forward to watching the industry now and seeing how they embrace the full potential that they can get from network automation.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you.